things are pretty good, aren't they?
Without a doubt, despite having the largest cohort of offenders in the city, because we are the largest local authority in the country, when we analyse each of the 6 indicators, we are below the national average on each of the 6. And I think this highlights the good work, not from one particular agency, but from all the different agencies pulling together. And the joint partnership work clearly came through in the evidence that we took, and it's been highlighted in the report.
But you're saying now that the rates could go up?
Yeah, there's obviously some real challenges. There's challenges because of the climate. We've got austerity, public sector cuts, welfare reform kicking in, and many experts in this field think that this may result in an increase in crime. But the biggest challenge for me is this possible introduction of the payment by result system by this government. This government itself says that each and every probation trust up and down this country is performing at good or excellent. And then to say that they want to professionalise it by privatising it, I think is an insult to the fantastic, skilled, experienced workers in the probation service.
But what's wrong with wanting to make something that's good even better?
I don't think it'll make it even better. They want to adopt a system which they've adopted with the work programme. And what we've seen there is the companies working on the work programme, they've recruited 800,000 people, of which only 3.5% of them are still in employment after 6 months. I think what they're doing here is tearing up a good system that's working really well. This will crowd out good third sector, voluntary sector organisations which work with the probation service, and they'll get multinationals in who have failed in the past. I also have huge concerns.
Sorry, can you just explain how the voluntary groups are going to be crowded out? The Ministry of Justice says it wants to involve the voluntary groups. They're going to be part of it.
This is what the government said when they introduced the work programme, but the contracts they've given are to big multinationals such as G4S and A4E rather than the small groups who are currently working with the probation service. When we heard evidence, there were voluntary sector organisations there at the public hearing who said, we're working with the probation service, with the youth offending services on these particular projects. I think the way the system is working with the community of voluntary sector at the moment is working perfectly fine, and the results clearly convey that. But with this new system, it will be set up for large companies to come and take the contracts, not your third sector organisation, your small groups who can make that difference on the ground. That's my concern.
Thank you for that. One of the lines that we've heard this morning is yourself and other councillors think that these changes to the probation service could put the public at risk. Isn't that a bit heavy-handed? That a bit overdramatic?
It's not. When you've got companies working with 75% of the current client group that the probation trust have, there's also concerns around data protection. Currently, the probation service, a public sector agency, has information about these offenders, which is sensitive information about their offending records, their personal information about some of the stuff that these offenders have been doing for a long period of time. What's going to happen when you hand this information over to private companies? Who is going to be able to manage it? The security levels around that are a huge concern. And we saw how a private company, G4S, and the issues that happened around security of our prison here in Birmingham when they lost the keys and the costs associated with that. So I think that the work of the probation service is fine. The results clearly show that. And I want to repeat this, that this government says it's good or excellent. Every single probation service, including the West Midlands and Staffordshire, which services our area, is working perfectly fine. So why change a system that's working in this current climate?
Okay. What would you say then is the key to stopping reoffending?
There's two, and this came through in the report: housing and employment. Having a stable house in an environment which supports the offender to stop them reoffending is very important. And employment. We came across scenarios where somebody had committed a petty crime in their childhood, have got something on their CRB, and that's preventing them, CRB means Criminal Record Bureau check, and that's preventing them from gaining employment.
Okay.
Sometimes it's that first step on that employment ladder that some of these individuals need. So those are the two key challenges in supporting offenders.
Are some of these individuals getting priority when it comes to housing coming to jobs?
Not necessarily. I don't see enough. We didn't see any evidence of that.
Okay. Could they, though?
I think they should. I think we should look at how we can integrate them back into the communities by providing them with adequate housing. But obviously here in Birmingham we have some serious housing issues. There's a long housing list, and with the introduction of bedroom tax there's going to be further problems. So again, there's going to be issues around this and challenges in the housing sector too.
Okay. Waseem, good to speak to you. Thanks for coming on. Councillor Waseem Zaffar from Birmingham City Council. We're asking you as well, does prison stop you doing it all again?